Yo, 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 yo. What's going on? What's going on? Tough night, man. Tough night. Tough night. Tough night. But hey, you live, you survive. It is what it is. It is what it is. This doesn't make or break Miami season, guys. It doesn't. You know, this is an SEC opponent. Miami still could, win out the ACC. The only team I think that we do have a challenge left with is Clemson. So it's going back to the 10-2 thing. It is what it is. It is what it is. Last night was a humbling experience. Tyler Van Dyke struggle, receivers struggle, play calling struggle. It is what it is. So college football don't end in week 3, so you got to move on to next week. Now, unfortunately for me, I got to be Aggie T2Y for the next week. At the beginning of the season, there's a bet on the channel that basically every team that Miami lose to, I would have to change the name of the channel to whatever that team's name and add T2Y at the end. So therefore, you see the name of the channel right now is Aggie T2Y. That'll be there for a week. Long week for me. So we're gonna take a look and do some breakdown, see what's going on. It is what it is. Let me see who else in the chat. Oh, Lenore's in the building. Lenore's, what's going on with you? OG in the building. What's good, OG? Got Rob in the building. What's going on? Gaddis sucks. Absolute. Oh God, man. Y'all gotta calm down. Yeah, I gotta calm down. Helen, what's going on? How you doing? Canes Talk, how you doing, boss? Mike in the building, what's going on? Nick 305, what's good with you, boss? All right, so as you guys know, every Sunday we do this. We go over what Miami's done on Saturday or Friday, Thursday, whatever day they play. And we also break down more than just Miami. We break down the rest of college football, how everybody did. Top 25 mainly, SEC, ACC. That seem to be the teams that most people care about. So Miami. Went into Texas A&M. Texas A&M just lost to App State. We all had a little hype and hope. We thought, hey, go in there, get this dub, and get out of there. We saw the cringy things that they was doing. Texas A&M having yell practices. We also seen them had a whole bunch of horses, take a shit on our sideline. Basically, they did what they had to do to win whatever it is that they was doing. I don't know how it helped them, but I guess it helped them because they won 17-9. Texas A&M scored 2 touchdowns. Miami scored 3 field goals. We are a field goal kicking team. Our kicker was the MVP on our side. We got to stop kicking field goals. We got to stop settling for field goals sometimes and just go for them touchdowns. It's plain and simple. What's the worst that could happen? Let's say you're in the red zone. You're on the 6-yard line, or you're on the 4-yard line, or whatever. What does it hurt to go for it? I mean, let's say you get stopped. Okay, you don't get the little 3 points, but guess what? The other team have to take over. Where are they taking over from? Their 4-yard line, their 6-yard line, or whatever. We got to stop, settling for 3 when we could go for 7. Plain and simple. Now, I think we had 2 missed field goals in this game, if I'm not mistaken. So possessions could have been a lot different, but if you don't come away with points, it don't make no difference. Tyler Van Dyke, 21 for 41. Basically, terrible night, slow night. 217 yards. Like I said, Miami scored no touchdowns. No touchdown. 52, what's good with you? We ain't going down. Yeah, we still got Clemson, man. I think That's going to be another tough matchup. That's going to be another one that tests to see where we at. I mean, it's a late game. That's a late game. That's way like I think week 11. That's like our 11th game. So we got plenty of time to see what we made of before we get there. So we're gonna see. Jay Play in the building. What's good, Jay Play? So we're gonna see, man. Tough night, man. Texas A&M quarterback. He was 50% last night. 10 out of 20, 140, one touchdown. He actually threw a touchdown. With him, that's his first start for Texas A&M. I think he came over from LSU, if I'm not mistaken. So that's his first start. The first 2 weeks they had Haynes King as their starter. So this guy came in and basically, he did what he had to do. He wasn't great. He wasn't no stellar quarterback. Basically, 17 points. Texas A&M offense is absolutely terrible. So far, they only putting up small amount of numbers. 17 points, 14 against App State. Sam Houston, I don't really count. They beat them like 31-0. So that's pretty much where their offense is at, like averaging about 17 points a game. So they basically put up what they normally did. Our offense just didn't show up. That's plain and simple. Receivers not catching balls. Tyler Van Dyke not throwing it to the right places and stuff like that. It happens. It happens. But to the world, Miami was gonna go in like before the season started. Miami was gonna go into this game and get blown out. Everybody saw that Texas A&M had the number one class. They had a coaching staff that's been together. They beat Alabama last year and such and so forth, even though they are what they say they are, 8-4 for the past couple of years. So Texas A&M is what Texas A&M is. Henry Parrish didn't do too bad of a job. 16 carries, 85 yards. Their running back, 18 carries for 88 yards. So similar in both, quarterback and running backs. Will Mallory had 6 catches for 56 yards. Their receiver had 4 catches for 74. Now, Will Mallory last night kind of gave us a little scare. We saw that he got tackled and basically kind of landed on his head. So, hurt. It hurt to see it, but, thank God a couple plays later we saw him back in the game. So it wasn't, nothing major. So hopefully this week, he get little treatments or whatever, or, don't feel too danged up. But it's over, guys. Texas A&M won. They're on to the next opponent. So coming up for Miami is Middle Tennessee. So it is what it is. Let me see where we're at. I see Rose in the chat. Boy, really hurt. I don't know who's hurt. See, on this channel, we don't been through it, man. We don't been through it. We don't see L's over here. We used to it. So, of course, being on Hurricane T2, when Florida lose, I clown them. When FSU lose, I clown them. So if you see them piling up in the chat, ready to tell you how you lost, then it comes with this channel. It comes with it. It is what it is. Oh yeah, I see y'all going back and forth. Marcus, okay, I got you, Marcus. See, that's why I'm glad I didn't put no money on Texas A&M versus Miami. I'm glad I stayed away from this one. Sometimes you don't bet on your own team because you're gonna bet with your heart and not with your head. But the link's in the chat. I mean, it be like that though, Rose. We got some passionate fans. A lot of people are very passionate about this team. I wouldn't expect Florida State to have any passionate fans because they ain't had nothing to be passionate about. Y'all been stuck with Mike Norvell and Willie for the last couple of years, and Jimbo Fisher didn't leave y'all in too good of a hand. So we still got optimism over here. You know, y'all are pretty much done. Now, congratulations to Florida State. Y'all still undefeated. You know, y'all nose is over the finish line right now. But anyways, like I said, Marcus, the links in the chat. Anybody that wants to come in, the links in the chat. We're gonna go over some of these games. I just wanted to run through Miami's real quick. Basically, you know, the stats and all that good stuff. So let's see, college football and all. Run through the top 25, the teams yesterday. Some upsets, some teams won. It is what it is. Marcus, what's going on with you, man?
Man, what's going on, T2I?
Chilling. You know.
Hey, hold on for a second. Hold on, wait a minute. Come on now, Hurricanes. Don't do that.
Don't do what?
No, I'm talking about last night after y'all lost the game. Oh, well, you know, we got to give, your man on here talking about, Mario got to get a pass this year. Okay, even if you want to give Mario a pass this year, is y'all going to give Billy Napier a pass his first year?
I mean, it ain't up to us. It's up to them Florida fans if they want to give Billy Napier a pass. We going to talk trash regardless. You already know that.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I understand, but it's like
it's up to y'all Florida State fans to get Norvell a pass if y'all want to get to him.
Well, we gave him a pass his first year, like COVID year, but the thing about it with Mario is
y'all gave him a pass last year too, because you did lose the JSU.
No, we ain't giving no pass.
Y'all gave him an extension. That's a pass. That's a huge pass.
First of all, we gave him that extension for if we fire him, we don't have to pay him that much out of his buyout. So that's why we gave him the quote unquote extension.
So you telling me
he didn't get no raise? He didn't get no.
So y'all pulling a fast one on Norvell? That's what you're telling me?
Not necessarily. I mean, he can. That contract we gave is pretty much towards the end. It's like a backloaded contract. But it's not like we gave him a raise. He's still making the same money. He just got an extra year on it. But like I said, but your man's on here talking about, we got to give Cristobal a pass his first year. And no. Y'all sat down hollered about, we going to get rid of Diaz. Then y'all bring in Cristobal. Cristobal going to change everything around. And Cristobal last night coached like he was scared. He coached just like Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher conservative as hell, and Cristobal like the kicking field goals. I'm like, you're not gonna win games kicking field goals.
Nah, that I agree.
You're not gonna do that.
You ain't winning no game kicking no field goals. I agree with you on that one. But you gotta. First of all, Mario's first year. He's barely got a recruiting cycle in him. He came in on the back end of that, got straight to work. So I'm not expecting no overnight. That's what I'm trying to tell this fan base. Like this microwave shit that y'all looking for. You seen what happened with it at LSU. You win and then you suck for the next 30 years. We don't want that.
Yeah, but which I understand. We live in this society where everybody wants everything so fast, and especially in sports. You can turn it around and nobody don't want to wait for no 2-3 year rebuild. I mean, with Mario, y'all really don't have like no rebuild. Like y'all not starting from scratch. Y'all like in the middle. Y'all just need somebody just to elevate y'all, to get y'all like back in, I guess, title contention. But I'm like, Mario, you got an experienced quarterback, a pretty good quarterback. And I mean, granted, the receivers didn't help him out because y'all receivers was out there dropping balls. But it's like, come on, man. Y'all should. Jimbo, he coached that game like he wanted to win that game. But then he's like, man, if Miami, if y'all score 2-3 touchdowns and then y'all beat us, it is what it is. They already want my head any damn way. So, but like I say, but Mario, he outdid Jimbo Fisher. He was conservative as hell. And Jimbo like, you gonna outdo me on conservativeness? I don't mind winning the game 17-9. And that's what he did. Won the game 17-9.
Yeah, man. It went sideways after that muff punt. Because to be honest with you, if he
Yeah, I
hadn't muffed
mean,
the punt, this game probably would have went differently. Because we gave them the ball right there in the red zone. So
yeah.
boom,
So it's like
we muffed it. They capitalized, and we played catch up the whole game.
you
Plain and
see,
simple.
you see how special teams can change a game in a matter of a second.
Oh yeah, block field goals, missed field goals. It happens. It happens. This game
So
could have went totally different. Had our receivers been catching, had they been creating separation, this could have went different. But hey, man, we can't live off coulda, shoulda, woulda. We lost. We lost. We got whooped. We went in there. We got beat. We got to move on to next week.
oh yeah, definitely yeah. You know, it ain't a one game season. You know, it's a week to week game. I mean week to week season.
Yeah,
Like I say, but I'm like,
sometimes
oh yeah,
you gotta do what Florida and Florida State do. You just got to get them wins by the skin of your teeth. Speaking of skin of your
hey,
teeth, Florida last night, USF, 31-28, skin of their
that,
teeth.
that South Florida had that game. Them referees helped out. Them referees helped out Florida a whole lot. South Florida should have won that game. They had that game.
They keep trying to tell me that Anthony Richardson is a quarterback, so we're gonna see how much of a quarterback he is.
The thing about Richardson,
Let me get down to that game right now. All right, so let's go to the game.
I got one thing. I got one thing to tell Florida fans. Dan Mullen, he was correct about Anthony Richardson. He was correct about him. That's
All
the
right.
reason why he didn't play Anthony Richardson a whole lot last year.
All right, so for USF, Gary, their quarterback, he went 12 for 28, 116, and
Oh, he was terrible
two
too.
interceptions. And then you
Oh
have
yeah, he was
Anthony
terrible.
Richardson, who was supposed to be a Heisman candidate. He's 10 for 18, 112, and 2 interceptions. So he actually did worse than the other guy.
Hey, do you know our backup quarterback got more touchdown passes than Anthony Richardson?
That's tough. That's tough.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up?
What's good with you,
What's
man?
going on?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Marcus, was you talking about me, bro?
Nah, he wasn't talking about you. He was
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
the other guy that came
yeah.
on last night.
Yeah, I was talking about you respectfully. It wasn't no disrespect. It was
No,
respectful.
I know you ain't. No, I ain't coming at you like that. I ain't coming at you like that. This all, it's all family. I'm just saying, to defend myself on what I was saying. Basically, like, man, it's the man first year. You feel me? I mean, I don't feel like we should be going at everybody's heads because of a Texas A&M game. First of all,
No, that
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
you. That was the other guy you were talking about.
oh, okay,
No,
okay.
I'm talking about him. Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I had said something too, so I thought he was talking about what I said.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was you. Yeah, I don't recall your name.
Can't
But yeah, I
football talk.
remember
Yeah.
you did say. Yeah, I remember you did say, well, yeah, it was Mario. I mean, it's Mario first year, but it's like y'all putting this type of Mario, like we finna come in here. I mean, granted, yeah, it's his first year,
Mhm.
but I'm thinking, man, A&M they kind of down. Mario, this your perfect opportunity to put your foot on their neck. And Mario, he went out there and he was just like, man, I'm just gonna go out here and just see what happened, man. And
Well, I ain't
like,
gonna
'cause
lie.
y'all,
Just like what TTY said and what I seen, I mean, it was more of like Gaddis play calling on certain downs. Like I ain't gonna lie, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, we could have went for that, but been aggressive on that.
yeah,
Because we had the running back. Henry Parrish was doing this thing, so I don't know why we wouldn't attempt none of that. And then the wide receivers, just like what TTY said in the last video he just dropped, they need some gorilla glue or
hey,
something, man.
hey, I got one question. Let's just say Manny Diaz coached this game. Do y'all believe y'all win this game?
He
No,
gets blown out.
no,
44 to 13.
I don't know. I don't know.
no.
Granted, I know y'all don't like Manny
I went
Diaz.
into look. I went
I
into
know
this
y'all don't
game
like Manny
more
Diaz.
confident. No, I'm saying I went into this game more confident with Mario than I would with Manny.
Would have lost 44 to
But
13.
but the way it looked, Lashley might be better than Gaddis because Lashley he's I guess he has like this rapport with TBD that he doesn't have with Gaddis. So that's why I said maybe if Diaz was coaching with Lashley, maybe y'all could have won. With Gaddis, I think he's still trying to figure out Tyler Van Dyke and how he operate and just that going on. That's why I said maybe y'all probably could have won that game last night with Manny. Granted, Manny, he probably would have made some stupid decisions, whatever, whatnot. But I believe y'all could have got a couple touchdowns with Lashley and TBD.
I mean, as far as like Manny, no, I feel like we could still keep Mario. If Lashley would have stayed, that'd have been different.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, obviously you got Cristobal and Gaddis, but I'm just saying if it's you had Diaz and Lashley. Lashley was calling the plays. I believe y'all get that game. If granted, Manny he ain't the greatest in-game coach, but I believe if Lashley would have been dialing up them plays, I believe y'all could have got some touchdowns instead of being 17-9, it could have been 24-17. Because like I said, Jimbo he was just conservative as hell. He was just like, man, I'm just gonna call conservative plays, not lose the game. And then Mario, I guess he was out there just being conservative with him. But like I said, I kind of believe if Lashley was calling them plays, y'all probably win that game.
All right, so we're looking at Florida side now. Florida allowed 286 yards rushed on them last night.
God damn.
Yeah. South Florida was
200.
Oh, snap.
They was gassing them boys.
Jedi in the building. What up, young Jedi? Yeah, man. If Manny was coaching, would have got our eye whooped. Would have got our eye whooped.
I mean, yeah, I could see that, but I can also see Manny pulling out the W.
Pulling out what W?
I mean, that's
what I'm trying to say, man. I don't know, man. I don't believe Manny would have beat Texas A&M last night. I think our better chance was last night. It's just we need to capitalize better, man. We just need to capitalize a little bit better. But
I'm saying Manny with the extension of Lashley. I'm not just saying Manny just by himself doing it by himself. I'm just saying with Lashley. Because Lashley, he calling all the plays.
Lashley would have made the same play calls Gaddis did.
Yeah, because
I mean, to me personally, to a degree, I think Lashley. I mean, granted, Gaddis he won the Broyles Award last year, but I think Lashley because his offense is more of a spread, and I think that kind of fits TVD his style, that spread, that pistol formation. That run and gun type of offense that fits TBD. That's not to say that pro style don't fit him either, but I think that spread would have kind of got him in a rhythm, and I think he would have trusted it more. Yeah. So like I said, I mean, yeah, we're
gonna see I know he need to open up the playbook and starting this week. Goddamn.
I believe that playbook was open yesterday. I believe y'all, like I said, the receivers just didn't do nothing. Y'all couldn't get going.
They couldn't
I mean, you had to open your playbook versus Texas A&M. I know you ain't go to Texas A&M with those 10, 15 plays and think you were just going to win with 10, 15 plays.
Besides the penalties that we had, did our offensive line give up a sack?
No, I think A&M got a couple. Did they get a couple sacks?
I don't think they got no sacks.
They didn't get any.
Yeah, they didn't get a sack. Yeah, shoot, that sounds good right there, man.
Yeah, like I said, most of the competition we play is not even going to be on that same level, talent-wise, as Texas A&M.
Yeah.
If we lose any of them other games other than Clemson, we would have to get out-schemed.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't see us losing to North Carolina. Mac Brown had Manny Diaz number, but he ain't got Mario's number.
So,
I mean, I believe that game going to be a shootout.
What, the North Carolina game?
Yeah, y'all gonna have to get some points on the board.
We run through some of these top 25 games that happened. So Georgia beat South Carolina yesterday, 48-7. Basically, garbage time points for South Carolina. Absolutely demolished them. Came out and did whatever they wanted to do. Anything they wanted to do, they could have done it yesterday. South Carolina got, I was gonna say the R word, but you know what? YouTube be sensitive about that.
Yeah, you can't say that, man. I heard.
You can't say
that. I heard they were pulling people out the stands to come out there and play.
Pretty much.
Oh, hey, y'all want to play? Come on out here, man. Y'all want to play? Come on, come on out here.
Mr. Prime says Manny would have had the wrong personnel on the field. Yeah, he definitely would have.
Yeah, that's what it would have messed us up. He would have had the wrong people on the field.
We probably would have made all kind of ESPN top this and top that for the wrong reason.
What's that one thing? Come on, man. For real.
Donation, boss. So Alabama handled business also 63-7 against UL Monroe. You know, that got ugly in the first quarter, 28-0, and they never looked back. Ohio State also handled business against Toledo, 77-21. Knocked them out the park. Michigan, also number 4 team in the country, handled business against UConn, 59-0. Just went out there and just decimated them. Clemson, struggle game. The score doesn't say, but it was a struggle game for Clemson. Beat LA Tech 48-20. They got the win.
I believe Clemson gonna have another 3-4 losses this year.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, Nebraska. I was watching in the beginning. Now, Nebraska jumped out there, scored 7. They was up 7, and then after that, Oklahoma never looked back. Just went ham on them.
Nebraska dead, man.
Scott Frost got fired, so you know they had one of the assistants stepped up. I forgot what his name, black dude or whatever.
Mickey Joseph. It's
the wrong debut. This was the wrong way to come out as a debut coach, man. Dude got totally whooped, 49-14. Yeesh. USC handled business against Fresno State, 45-17. Number 8 in the country, Oklahoma State handled business against Arkansas Pine, 63-7.
Damn, they number 8?
Yeah. Number 9 team in the country, Kentucky, 31-0 against Young State. Youngstown State handled them, beat them. Arkansas beats Missouri State 38-27. Now, don't let that score fool you. Arkansas struggled in this game. They struggled bad. Missouri State jumped out on them 17-0, and then they kind of messed themselves up basically throughout the whole game. So we could have been looking at an upset or a loss right now for Arkansas, but Arkansas survived. They've improved to 3-0. All right, so number 11 team in the country, Michigan State.
T2Y, I'm about to jump back in. I'm about to be home in a few minutes, so I'll jump back in.
All right. 11 in the country, Michigan State went down to Washington. Washington beat them 39-28. So Michigan State, Mel Tucker is no longer undefeated. We're gonna see where they're gonna drop in these rankings, these upcoming rankings. Oregon handled business, upset BYU yesterday, 41-20.
Oregon got up off the mat. Oregon got up off the mat.
Yeah, Oregon came out there and just smacked them in the mouth. Not the same way that Georgia smacked them in their mouth, but something similar. Jumped out on them. Utah, they won their game 35-7 against San Diego State. Tennessee handled business yesterday, 63-6 against Akron. So,
I think game day gonna be in Tennessee next week. That Tennessee-Florida game.
Yeah, and then you got number 16 in the country, North Carolina State. They beat Texas Tech 27-14. Little struggle game for them, but they got it done. Baylor 42-7 against Texas State. They handled business from the jump. Florida, of course, Florida struggled with USF. USF should have won that game. They made some, critical mistakes towards the end that cost them it. But Florida survived. Anthony Richardson is not a quarterback for the 3rd week in a row. I'm trying to tell y'all. Can't throw the ball. His receivers over there, they starving. Wake Forest with a struggle game.
Liberty should have won that game. Liberty should have kicked the field goal, the extra point. They go in overtime. I don't know why they went for 2. Just Liberty get the extra point, go in overtime.
Liberty tried to put the game away, and unfortunate for them, they came up short like Nebraska did in '82. So there you go. Number 19, Wake Forest survives this week, improved to 3-0. Now, ACC team, Georgia Tech. Went out there and totally embarrassed the whole freaking conference. The whole conference. I'm talking about number 20 Ole Miss beat them 42-0. 0.
I'm surprised they didn't fire old boy yet. I'm very surprised. I'm surprised he's not fired today.
42-0.
That's like an unfireable offense. I'm surprised that dude from Auburn, he ain't got fired yet too.
Georgia Tech is pure doo-doo. Doo-doo. Texas handled business against UTSA 41-20. Texas, as you guys know, lost to Alabama, and then even after they lost, they ranked them. Now this week they beat UTSA 41-20. Penn State, Manny Diaz defense is over there getting them turnovers. I don't know if they got a turnover nifty lion or a turnover prop or turnover anything, but it was getting them turnovers. Manny was. I was watching that at one point. Manny already had like 3 turnovers to 0. So that defense that he's running is working for Penn State so far.
Struggle. You know why it's working? It's because it's not his players.
Yeah, we know. Give him 2 years.
That's why it's working.
But hey, this ain't the Manny hate hour. So hey, congratulations to Manny, man, out there getting them turnovers, putting up good numbers on defense. Hey, be great, my guy. All right, Penn State handled business against Western Michigan. They beat them 34-13. So that'll wrap up all the games in the top 25. So we're gonna shift it on over right now to the ACC and see who all else is on there, because all of the teams ain't ranked like Florida State.
hey, Miami, y'all play Syracuse this year?
Nah.
Oh,
we play Clemson and Florida State.
Well, I know that already, but I'm.
Yeah, Clemson and Florida State. We play y'all and then one other from the Atlantic. So Clemson, It's Clemson this year. So Florida State beat Louisville on Friday night, 35-31. That game was mid. That game came down to the end, and Louisville blew it. Florida State got the win nonetheless. They 3-0 for the first time. When the last time Florida State was 3-0?
I think 2016.
Nah, 2016 y'all was 2-0. So you got to go back even further than that. Probably 14. Probably 14.
I think it was 15.
Or 15. 1-0.
Hey. Yeah, it was 15.
So Florida State with the last 2 weeks with the struggle wins, they approved of 3-0. So Miami lost to Texas A&M. Clemson, we just talked about that. Okay, Pitt. Okay, so Virginia Tech bounced back this week. They beat Wofford. They beat them 27-7. Still a struggle win. Teams like that, you got to blow them out the water. Plain and simple. Syracuse. Now, this game was a survival mission. Syracuse versus Purdue. Syracuse pulled it out in the end, but they could have lost this game.
They honestly, Purdue gave them that game with those unsportsmanlike conducts. The straight up handed to Syracuse.
Bahamas, what's going on with you, boss? Yeah, it's Aggie T2Y this week, unfortunately. Now y'all won't catch me wearing no overalls, and y'all won't catch me, kicking one leg up in the air every time I emphasize on a word or something. That's what they do over there in old Aggie town. My thing is, what the hell is an Aggie? Is that some type of dog? Yeah, it's that dog they got, that little mutt. Oh man, I can't be talking about my team like that. Oh, Virginia Tech. Not Virginia Tech. Virginia survived Old Dominion. They survived. Beat them. I think it was a last-minute field goal. Kicked the winning field goal to beat them. So Old Dominion causing all kind of problems up in them Virginia areas. But nonetheless, Virginia survives. They improved to 2-1. So it wasn't a total meltdown in the ACC this week. Duke handled business against North Carolina A&T. Beat them 49-17. 20. Duke is 3-0 right now.
Duke's looking pretty good.
They ain't playing nobody. Other than,
They played Northwestern.
Yeah, they beat Northwestern last week. But other than that, they ain't playing nobody.
Yeah, y'all play Duke this year?
Yeah, we always play Duke. Don't even start.
Hey, all right. Don't y'all play around with Duke now? They gonna clip y'all.
Man, we gonna mess
that game in Miami is it in North Carolina?
I think it's in North Carolina. It don't matter where they play it. We could play them. We could play them in Vietnam. We're still gonna beat them.
Okay, y'all play with Duke now.
Boston College got their first win of the season against Maine. They beat them 38-17. Teams that you're supposed to be blowing out, beating them close games. So it's safe to say that Boston College is not that good this season. I think they are next opponent, if I'm not mistaken. So y'all should play them next. Y'all should be able to get that win. Or dependent. Well, I wouldn't even necessarily give it to you guys because I'm not sure if Jordan Travis is going to even be back.
Nah, he ain't gonna play that game.
Okay, so what's the diagnostic? What's the diagnostic on Jordan Travis?
I think they're saying like a sprained ankle, so that's probably like a 2-3 week injury. It wasn't nothing broken, but I guess it's like a high ankle sprain, so it might be 2 to 3 weeks.
So basically, enough time for Rowe to make it take his spot.
Well, depending on how you play.
Yeah, it won't
the only
be
thing he got to do this week, just not.
All you got to do is complete like 2 or 3 passes a game.
I don't know if I don't know about that because that game versus Louisville, he came out, he was hot.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, let's switch it over to the SEC fans for all the SEC fans in the chat and all the SEC fans on the channel, period. See what the SEC was doing yesterday. So, of course, we talked about South Carolina. We talked about Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, Florida, Ole Miss. Penn State handled business against Auburn. Beat them 41-12. Like I said, that Manny Diaz defense was showing them, hey, we can get them turnovers. Auburn took their first loss. Couldn't really do much yesterday. Couldn't really do much. Are you guys surprised with Auburn? I mean, head coach-wise, I don't even think they wanted him last year. They let him back, but I think
he done. I think he done.
The trustees or whatever, the board of trustees didn't even want him back. They was forced to take him. So unless he wins out the rest of these games or whatever, or at least try to compete for the SEC championship or something, I think they're gonna want him out next year. I think he ain't gonna be here that long. Missouri, they beat Abilene Christian 34-17. They got the win. Vanderbilt struggled with Northern Iowa. Illinois. I'm sorry, Northern Illinois for a while, and then they kind of pulled it together and took off on them towards the end. But Vanderbilt got the win. And then, all right, Mississippi State versus LSU. LSU
supposedly
of course, last week lost to Florida State, struggled, and then this week out of nowhere slapped Mississippi State in the mouth. Whooped them 31.
LSU. LSU. They had to just get in the groove.
So yeah,
the LSU team might win 9 games this year. Why y'all bullshitting?
I wouldn't doubt it. They're gonna look back at this season and say, "How the hell did we lose to Florida State?"
Hey,
how? But that's pretty much what happened. Let's go on over to the Big 12 and let's go to the Big 10 first. Big 12. Big 12 it is. So the Big 12. We already talked about Oklahoma knocking off Nebraska, Oklahoma State, North Carolina, Tennessee. All right, so we talked about those. West Virginia got their first win. 65-7 against Tulsa. Now, granted that they didn't play nobody, that's a huge win for West Virginia. They should have probably scheduled this game the first one of the season. Lost to Kansas already, so this season is already a wash. Throw it in the garbage. Ain't nothing to expect from them. Hawaii loses to Iowa State. Iowa State beat them 43-10. Kansas State lost to Tulane. That's what I'm saying. The Big 12 is total trash ass. Basuda, lost to Tulane.
Yeah, outside of Oklahoma and Texas.
And here's something crazy. Kansas now improves to 3-0 on the season after beating Houston yesterday, 48-30. So look at Kansas making a name for themselves. Undefeated, 3-0.
So the two basketball schools, they undefeated Kansas and Duke.
Yeah. I mean, now granted that probably won't last.
Well, yeah, it ain't gonna last.
But you gotta enjoy it while you got it. You gotta enjoy it while you have it. All right, let's switch to the Big Ten. Going over into the Big Ten.
That ain't nothing but a 2-team conference.
Michigan handled business. Michigan State got upset by Washington. Penn State handled business. All right, so upset. Northwestern lost to Southern Illinois last night, 24-31. Got upset by Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois got their first win on the season. Now, this that same Northwestern team that beat Nebraska the first week over there in Finland, and then, got beat by Duke and then come out and then lose to Southern Illinois. So that Duke win don't look so impressive no more. Purdue, Syracuse, we already talked about that one. A survival game. Indiana survived Western Kentucky, 33-30. Western Kentucky had this game until basically the end. Overtime. They went into overtime, and Indiana pulled it off with a field goal. So, struggle game. Another struggle game. Rutgers beat Temple, 16-14. This was a nail biter. This was a fight to the end. Rutgers pulled it off. That game was at Temple, so they pulled it off at Temple. Struggle game. Nobody bet on Rutgers this year. You might lose all your money. Colorado. Minnesota handled Colorado with ease, 49-7. 49-7. From the beginning of the game, it was over. Wisconsin went out there and dominated New Mexico State. New Mexico State is now 0-4 in the country. Lost 66-7. If you see New Mexico State playing anybody, pick the other team to cover the points. Pick them. Just pick them. And Iowa beat Nevada. Iowa beat them 27-0, total domination. And Maryland versus SMU. Maryland beat them 34-27. Reed Lashley versus Dan Enos. Former Miami Hurricane offensive coordinators went up against each other. And basically, Dan Enos won. 34-27. Maryland beats SMU. All right. So let's switch on over to the Pac-12. See what happened in that conference. So USC handled business to improve to 3-0. They beat Fresno State 45-17. Washington handled business, beating Michigan State. Oregon handled business, beating BYU. Utah handled business, beating San Diego State. UCLA survived South Alabama. They beat them by 1 point. South Alabama led that game the whole way and lost basically at the end. Cal got upset. Cal got upset by Notre Dame. Notre Dame beat Cal 24-17. Close game all the way to the end. That was a good one to watch. Of course, Minnesota beat Colorado. Washington State, they handled business to improve to 3-0. Colorado State got beat, 38-7. Oregon State handled business 68-28. Then you got Arizona. They also handle business, beating North Dakota State 31-28. Escaped with a 3-point win. North Dakota State, you could arguably say that they should actually, move up a level in college football. They basically could move up a level and still compete. So I think they holding that state back, in my opinion. Come on over, step it up a level, come to FBS or whatever, and then bring some attention to the state of North Dakota. Arizona State got upset yesterday by Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan beat them 30-21. Now, Arizona State, that's basically where Nesta Silvera transferred to from Miami, transferred over there. Now they're getting their butt kicked, plain and simple. Should have stayed at Miami, my guy. But that's your Power 5 teams, the ACC, SEC, and all of them all together from yesterday. So not quite sure if the rankings come out yet, but most likely the rankings will come out tomorrow. Normally we'll get some rankings up already, but we'll see. Actually, the rankings did drop. I'm sorry, they did drop. So you got the AP and the coaches poll is out. Now, 25 in the country, the Miami Hurricanes. After losing to Texas A&M, we dropped 12 spots in the country, 12 spots. Miami is now the 25th team in the country. Other teams that's getting votes, Michigan State, they dropped out the rankings completely after their loss to Washington. Florida State is getting 85 vote. Appalachian State is getting some vote. North Carolina getting some vote. Washington State. Okay. So those teams are getting some votes. So let's go through the top 25. Top 25. So starting at the top, you got Georgia at number 1, Alabama number 2, Ohio State 3, 4 is Michigan, 5 is Clemson. Those teams stayed the same. They didn't move. Oklahoma, USC, Kentucky moved up 1 spot to go ahead of Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State dropped 1. And number 10 is Arkansas. They stay right where they were. So number 11 in the country now, you got Tennessee. They moved up 4 spot. NC State, they moved up 4 spot. Utah was 14. They moved up 1. Penn State now is number 14 in the country. They moved up 8 spots. 8 spots. Oregon also moved up 10 spots from number 25 to number 15 in the country. Ole Miss moved up 4 spots. They're now number 16. Baylor stays right where they are at 17. Washington was not ranked. Now they're ranked after beating Michigan State yesterday. Michigan State was number 11 team in the country. BYU dropped 7 spots after losing to Oregon. Florida struggle win against USF got them to drop 2 spots from number 18 in the country to now number 20 in the country. So Florida went from 18 to 20. Wake Forest also dropped 2 spots. Texas dropped 1 spot after winning yesterday. Texas A&M, they went from being the 24th team in the country to the 23rd. They moved up 1. And Pitt went from being 23 to 24, dropping 1. So Miami is number 25 in the country after losing to Texas A&M. So that's your top 25 team. Coaches poll, we don't really care about. Miami is at number 25 in both polls. So, if you look at the coaches poll, the Gators, they're number 20 on the AP, and they're number 22 on the coaches. In the coaches poll, Florida State is also sitting at number 27th in the country on both polls, on the AP and the coaches. So basically, that's where we at right now. Miami is number 25 country, number 25 country in the team. Number 25 team in the country. There we go. So basically, let's go on into next week's games. As you guys know, Miami next week will play none other than Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee will come to Hard Rock. I think the game will be at 3:30. But let's double check. Actually go to scores. I'm gonna do it from score standpoint. So week 4, going into week 4. Tim Brown, what's going on with your boss? How you doing? Guys, make sure you guys hit the like button. Hit the like button for me, please, if you haven't already. If you're on your phone, exit the chat, hit the like button, and just click the chat back. It'll pop right back up. There goes my laundry. All right, so this week, guys, Miami versus Middle Tennessee. Miami is a 25.5 point favorite in this game. Me personally, I'm staying away from the bets against, any team. I'm staying away from betting on Miami because I tend to bet with my heart and not with my head when it comes to that, and I always lose. So Miami, 25.5 point favorite at home. Tickets, they're saying tickets as low as $8, guys. So make sure y'all get out there, man. Get out there and put your butts in the seats. Show the team some support. They could really use it right now. They could really use it. Georgia, they'll play Kent State. That should be a win for Georgia. As a matter of fact, let's do it this way. I'm gonna do it by conference. That way we could, we could have a better feel for these games. All right. So this week in the ACC, we got a Thursday night game. For anybody that wants to join in on the conversation, the link is in the chat. So basically, West Virginia versus Virginia Tech. Showdown of the Virginias. So West Virginia is a 1.5 favorite in this one. A 1.5 favorite in this. They think West Virginia will win this one by at least 2 points, basically. So Thursday, that's a Thursday night game for you guys. Thursday night. So we'll have some college football Thursday night. That'll be on ESPN at 7:30. Keeping it in the ACC. Friday night, also another Virginia team. Showdown in the ACC. You got Syracuse sitting at 3-0 versus Virginia. Syracuse is an 8.5 point favorite with the over and under at 54.5. This is a Friday night game, guys, 7 o'clock on ESPN. So Virginia versus Syracuse. All right. So then come Saturday on the ACC network, you got Miami versus Middle Tennessee. That's a 3:30 game. No over and under as of yet. Weather is set to be 88 degrees. Miami's a 25.5 point, like we said earlier. All right. Possibly the game of the week for the ACC. You have Wake Forest versus Clemson. Wake Forest is sitting at the number 21 team in the country. Clemson sitting at number 5. So basically, Clemson is a 7-point favorite in this one. Over and under is at 57. Both team comes into this game at basically 3-0. Possibly could decide who wins the Coastal. Not the Coastal. I'm sorry, the Atlantic. This could be one of those games that, put one of those guys out to be the front runner in the beginning of the year. Now, I know there's a lot of football to be played. So if Wake Forest were to go out there and beat Clemson, all they would have to do is just, survive the rest of the year, and they would go to the ACC championship. This one is going to have huge, huge impact. Also, to keep an eye out for is North Carolina State, because, those 3 teams will possibly be one of those teams to come out of the Atlantic, unless Florida State got something to say about it. They really don't. But keeping it in the ACC, 12 o'clock game, Pitt, number 24 in the country, Pitt versus Rhode Island. No point spread came out for that one yet. I think Pitt will win that one. I'll definitely pick Pitt to win that. Showdown of the basketball schools. Both teams comes into this game undefeated. Unfortunately for one of them, it won't stay that way. You got Duke versus Kansas. Duke versus Kansas. Kansas is an 8-point favorite in this one. Kansas is at home. Kansas versus Duke. Two basketball teams that's pretending to be football teams this year. So we're gonna see how this one turned out. They're saying Kansas by 8 because Kansas is at home, of course, but I wouldn't be surprised if Duke win this game. I'm actually pulling for Duke on this one. Go get them, Duke. You know, make the ACC proud. 12 o'clock game. You got Louisville versus USF. So Louisville is at home, 14-point favorite. 14-point favorite. So let's see if that momentum that USF had against Florida can go on over into this Louisville game. We'll see. Another good matchup. Number 3. I'm sorry. Nope, they're not ranked. 3:30 game. Notre Dame versus North Carolina. Notre Dame versus North Carolina. What's going on? What's going on, boss? How you doing? What we got here? The Shark Outlet. Anybody miss Reed Lashley? Y'all let them know in the chat if y'all miss Reed Lashley. Notre Dame versus North Carolina. This one is in Chapel Hill. This is a home game for North Carolina. I think this game could possibly go either way. I think both teams right now have underperformed so far in the year. Despite North Carolina being 3-0, the record does not speak for the play that they have been putting on the field. But we'll see how that goes. Georgia Tech versus UCF. UCF is at home at the Bounce House. UCF is an 18-point favorite. I wouldn't pick them to beat them by 18. But after watching Georgia Tech lose 42-0, it could be a possibility. Over and under is sitting at 57. I think this is one of those games that I would leave alone. But if you guys are a betting man and you believe in UCF, they're an 18-point favorite. If you believe Georgia Tech is that bad, you can go ahead and lay them points. But I'm staying away from that game. UConn versus North Carolina State. North Carolina State, 12 in the country, 3-0, 38-point favorite in this one. UConn pretty much got embarrassed. Michigan, straight dog mollywopped them, coming off a bad win, bad loss. So North Carolina, I'll take North Carolina to win that one. Boston College versus Florida State. This is going to be on the ACC network, 8 o'clock. Boston College is the underdog by 16.5 points because Florida State is at home. Over and under is sitting at 48.5. Now, from what I'm expecting, Jordan Travis, I don't think he will be playing in this game. So I know Boston College is looking absolutely terrible right now, and it would be hard to pick them to beat Florida State. But with the state that Florida State is in right now with quarterback situation, I do believe this game could possibly go either way. Florida State might still have a little bit of edge on them, though. And those are your ACC games for this week. So let's go ahead and switch on over to the SEC, the second best conference, because I said so. Everybody else might say otherwise. All right, so Georgia, the mighty Georgia Bulldogs, they will take on Kent State this week. Georgia's sitting at 3-0, number 1 in the country. They're a 42-point favorite, and I can see why. Over and under, 59. I don't think Kent State is going to put up much points in this game, so if you think Georgia's going to score 59 or more or whatever, then you probably go with the over. But Georgia's been, known for showing mercy on these, lower tier teams. So you might want to stay away from them points. But if you pick Georgia to win the game, you can't go wrong. You probably won't win no money though. They'll be so much of a favorite. You wouldn't win no money. Missouri versus Auburn. Auburn is a 6.5 point favorite at home. Both teams are mid. Both teams look terrible. This one could go either way. This is one of those games that I probably would stay away from. But Auburn versus Missouri this week. That's a 12 o'clock game on ESPN. Mississippi State versus Bowling Green. Mississippi State is a 29.5-point favorite. Over and under is sitting at 57. I do believe that Mississippi State gets the job done. Coming off of that loss to LSU, they're going to be real fired up at home. So you guys keep an eye out for that one. If you're a betting man, these are the games that you probably want to throw in your parlay for the easy win. Kind of help your ticket out. Not too much, but it'll help you get to them 10 game straights and stuff like that. All right, here's probably one of the biggest matchups, in the SEC this week. 3 o'clock, CBS. The number 20 team in the country, the Florida Gators, versus the number 11 team in the country, the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee is at home in Knoxville. They are 9.5-point favorite. Over and under is sitting at 62. Now, these teams always play each other down to the end. I think Florida's have had the edge over the last couple of years in this game. But this year, as you guys know, Florida is not good. Florida does not have a quarterback. They don't have receivers. And their defensive line is not as great as they thought they were. So I'll take Tennessee for the win. And I'm not sure if they're going to cover the 9.5, 10 points or whatever. So I'll take Tennessee just to win this straight up. Over and under 62. I do believe that both teams, well, not both teams. Tennessee could score points, but I definitely don't believe in the offense coming from Anthony Richardson. So I'll definitely take Tennessee. I'll probably go with the under 62, but we'll see how they go. Ole Miss versus Tulsa. Ole Miss going into this game is number 16 team, undefeated at 3-0. This should be an easy matchup for them. Easy win in Oxford, Mississippi. They're a 20-point favorite. Over and under is at 62. I'll definitely take Ole Miss for the win. Then you have Kentucky going to play Northern Illinois. Take Kentucky. They're at home at Kroger Field. They're a 24.5-point favorite. Over and under is sitting at 53. Definitely take Kentucky for the win. I'll definitely take Kentucky. All right. So another top 25 matchup. You got the number 10 team in the country in Arkansas. And you got Texas A&M. Texas A&M 2-1. Arkansas is 3-0. Both teams have struggled this week. Texas A&M is a 2-point favorite. Now, they are at home. Well, actually, this is a neutral site game. It'll be played in Arlington, Texas. This is one of those rivalries that, been around for a minute. So you got Arkansas versus Texas A&M. Texas A&M 2-point favorite. Not quite sure where to go with this one. Like I said, both teams are struggling. I think I'll probably leave that one alone. All right. So Alabama versus Vanderbilt. Alabama, 38-point favorite. I definitely take Alabama to win this game. Vanderbilt is a pushover, plain and simple. This year they've shown a little flash that they could beat the simple teams, but I'll take Alabama for the win without a doubt. Not much to really talk about right there. New Mexico versus LSU. LSU at home in Baton Rouge. 31-point favorite. I'm not quite sure if I would take them with the 31 points, but I do believe LSU wins that game, no doubt. South Carolina, of course, Georgia just humiliated them. They play Charlotte this week in South Carolina. It's a home game for them. They're a 23-point favorite. I definitely think they will win this game. They probably will cover the 23 points. I think they come out pretty angry from last week. Spencer Rattler looked like pure doo-doo yesterday. So let's see if he can bounce back against a less inferior team in Charlotte. So those are your SEC matchups for the week. All right, so we're gonna flip on over to the Big Ten. The Big Ten. We did the ACC. We did the SEC. Now let's jump over to the Big Ten. You guys, early predictions and thoughts on some of these games. Also Wednesday, guys. Wednesday will be the Big Three. I'll be doing the stream for the Big Three. That's Florida State, Miami, and the Florida Gators. Every Wednesday at 5:00. We'll talk about the Big Three. The Big Three. All right, so let's switch on into the Big Ten. So this week, Illinois will take on Chattanooga. I do believe that Illinois will win this game. I wouldn't pick them to win big. Illinois seems to be winning games now by 3 points or so. They did lose to Indiana by 3. So Illinois, I'll take them to win against Chattanooga, but I wouldn't put any points. I wouldn't lay any points. They seem not to cover bits. Michigan versus Maryland. Michigan is a 17-point favorite at home in Ann Arbor against Maryland. Over and under is at 62. I'll take Michigan. I'm not sure. I actually think they will cover the 17 points, but I'll probably stay away from the points. Penn State versus Central Michigan. Penn State is a 25.5-point favorite. Over and under sitting at 60.5 as of right now. I would definitely take Penn State for the win. And I do believe that they will cover the 25.5 points. Then you have Michigan State versus Minnesota.
And Minnesota might surprise them.
Yeah, Minnesota is a 1.5-point underdog in this one. So they are picking Michigan State to win the game at home in East Lansing. So this might be one of those games where you could, go against the grain and, pick Minnesota to win, and you'll probably get it. But I think Michigan State could actually win this game too. This is one of those toss-ups. This is one of them games I tend to stay away from. I tend to stay away from this one. But easy points to get, 1.5. Then you got Cincinnati versus Indiana. Cincinnati is a 14-point favorite. It is in Cincinnati, Ohio. This one is one of those I stay away from the points also. I possibly would pick Cincinnati to win it. I just wouldn't pick them to cover the points.
Yeah.
Then you got Rutgers versus Iowa. Iowa's a 7-point favorite. This is a home game for Rutgers. I would definitely take Iowa for the 7 and to cover the 7. Watching Rutgers play yesterday against Temple was absolutely mind-boggling. Wisconsin, Ohio State. Ohio State at home in Columbus, 17.5-point favorite. Over and under is sitting at 56. This game, I'm taking Ohio State to win, but I won't be surprised if it's a dogfight. I won't be surprised if Ohio State doesn't cover the 17, but for the past 3 weeks, Ohio State has looked good. I just think that this might be one of those stumbling, one of those bumps in the road. I do think they'll still win the game, though. Miami, Ohio versus Northwestern. Northwestern is a 6.5-point favorite in this one. Both teams comes into this game at 1-2. Watching Northwestern lose their game yesterday, I think it was against one of those FCS schools or whatever. It seemed discouraging, but Miami, Ohio doesn't look that great either. This is one of those games that I stay away from. All right, so now you have Purdue versus FAU. Purdue at home, 19-point favorite. Over and under is sitting at 60.5.
My boy Nicosi gonna win that game.
I like Nicosi, but I'm taking Purdue to win that game. I think it'll be a good game for Nicosi, but I do see them struggling in this one against Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's switch over to the Big 10. No, Big 12, I'm sorry. Big 12. This is week 4 in the big. We already talked about West Virginia. All right, so you got Baylor versus Iowa State. The line is even. The line is even. Over and under is at 45. Baylor is sitting at number 17 in the country at 2-1. Iowa State 3-0. That should be an interesting matchup at 12 p.m. Also, that's a home game for Iowa. All right, so TCU, SMU. That line is also even. You got TCU at home. Oh, I'm sorry. You got SMU at home. This one I'm not sure about either. The line is even. I'll stay away from it. I'd probably pick TCU to get the win. But like I said, it could go either way. I could also see SMU winning. You know, they put on a great show against Maryland. Unfortunately for them, Maryland came out on top. Duke versus Kansas, we talked about that one. I'm going to stay away from that one. 2 basketball schools going at it. One of them will come out undefeated. The other one, you know, bites the dust. It is what it is. Texas versus Texas Tech. Texas is a 4.5-point favorite in this one. Over and under is at 60. I think Texas get the win. Kansas State versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a 13-point favorite. I'll definitely take Oklahoma for the win and to cover the 13 points. Definitely, the over and under is at 53.5. I'll definitely go with the over on that one. These teams are known for putting up a lot of points, especially Oklahoma. Their defense, and Oklahoma defense will give up probably like 14 points. So I'll definitely pick them for the over at 53.5. All right, so not a lot of games in the Big 12 this week. A lot of teams are going to be on bye week. So let's switch on over to the Pac-12 to cover to finish up with the Power 5. UCLA versus Colorado. UCLA with a struggle win yesterday. They are a 20.5-point favorite over Colorado. Colorado is 0-3 right now. I'll take UCLA for the win, but I would definitely not take them to cover the 20 points, 20.5 points. The way they played against that FCS school and barely won, I can't trust them.
Did UCLA win their game Saturday?
Yeah, I think by 1 point.
I don't know, man. I might take Colorado on this.
You might go with the upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that upset.
I'll probably if I take Colorado, it would be just to cover the 20.5 points, but I wouldn't pick them to win. Oregon versus Washington State. Oregon is a 6-point favorite. 53.5 is the over and under. Washington is at home. That's going to be a tough one to call.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Watching Oregon play yesterday, they played dominant football, so that's going to be tough. I will pick Oregon to win that game. I think Washington State is going to show up though, so that it might beat them by 3, could beat them by more, but I'm not going to touch that game. They got Cal versus Arizona. Cal is at home with a 4-point favorite, and over and under is sitting at 48. Stay away from that one. I watched Cal, and Cal played very physical against Notre Dame yesterday. Came up short, but if I had to pick, I would definitely go with Cal over Arizona.
Yeah.
USC, hot right now, versus also undefeated Oregon State. USC is a 6.5-point favorite. Over and under is sitting at 68. I'll take USC for the win. Not going to touch the points, but I'll definitely take USC to win that one. Utah versus Arizona State. I'll take Utah. Utah is a 14.5-point favorite. Also, this game is played in Arizona, so it's at Arizona. Over and under 52. I'll take Utah for the win. Stanford, Washington. Washington just got into the rankings. They're at home against Stanford. They're an 11.5-point favorite. I'll take. I'm actually gonna go against it and say Stanford for the upset. This
Yeah.
one upset of the week right here: Stanford versus Washington. The over and under is sitting at 60 points. So those are your games for this upcoming week. Some of those lines and some of those over and unders might change when people start making their bets. So if you see one of these teams at a certain point that you like and you think that you could win, go ahead and lock that in. But that's what's coming up this week in college football. So man, what's your expectations this week for Miami versus Middle Tennessee?
Oh well, first of all, we need to polish up the hands with the wide receivers, definitely. Tyler Van Dyke, man, he gotta find his rhythm and put them balls in the right places because he was overthrowing the wide receivers a little bit in that game yesterday. Offensive line be a little bit more disciplined so we don't get no more penalties. To be honest with you, as far as like the defense, I mean, they step up. Hey, and I wanted to say it earlier since you're asking now, man, can I give praise to DJ Ovid and Corey Flagg for showing out in that game yesterday, man? Because I was against DJ Ivey. I wanted him to get benched and somebody else start. But hey, DJ Ivey showed his cover skills yesterday. So I wouldn't say too much about the defense, but as far as like the offense, we need the wide receivers to tighten up on the catching. We need Tyler Van Dyke. He need to throw a little bit more accurate throws, and that offensive line need to be a little bit more disciplined. And I feel like we should be fine. I mean, but I'll be honest with you, we should be blowing out Middle Tennessee this Saturday.
Yeah, points allowed on Middle Tennessee so far. They played some lesser opponents, so points allowed on them so far is 23. So I definitely see Miami scoring way more than 23 points on them.
Yeah.
Points per game right now, Miami's sitting at 36.3. I could possibly see them going up into the 50s against Middle Tennessee. This is a lesser and inferior opponent, so
yeah,
should be an easy win before we go into ACC play.
Yeah, I feel like we should be. I feel like it should be like at least 56-10, maybe 14, something like that. If that, I don't even see us giving them a score. Maybe we should blow them out.
I can see them getting 7 points.
Yeah.
I can see them getting 7 points, but that should be an easy win. Easy win for Miami. Bounce back after the loss. Get the guys' confidence back up before we go into ACC play.
Yeah, we'll get ready for that. Get ready for that North Carolina, man. That's all Middle Tennessee is. We're gonna be getting ready for North Carolina's ACC play, man. I feel like.
Yeah, this should be an easy cupcake win. Hopefully we don't come out there with no jitters. Hopefully we start this game off strong from beginning to the end. Build those guys' confidence up. Send some of the receivers out there on some bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Get them comfortable. Start having them create some separations. Get comfortable doing that because we haven't done that in the past couple games. But yeah, this definitely will be an easy win. Not too much to really talk about against them.
Yeah, for real. It'd be a definitely easy win. I'm really not worried about Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, definitely not.
I feel like our boys. I feel like them boys gonna have some. I feel like the wide receivers they're gonna feel like they got something to prove now, man. They were dropping them balls yesterday, so I feel like they're gonna come out catching all. I feel like they're gonna catch everything that get thrown to them this Saturday, though.
Yeah, I think we'll be good this week. I think it'll be one of those blowout wins.
Yeah. Hey, you heard about that? I mean, I know you heard about it, but how you feel about it? Restrepo out for 6 games.
Yeah, I think they said something to do with his ankle. I think it's either sprain or something like that. But next man up, man. That's what it's got to be. Next man up.
Yeah.
Injuries happen in the game. It's unfortunate. We keep them in our prayers, but it's next man up.
For real.
Show must go on. Oh man, so listen, let me just Middleton. Stop begging for attention, bro. I see your comments. You don't have to write them 100 times. I see them, bro. We lost yesterday. Yes. Yes, we lost. You okay? Okay. There you go. I acknowledge your comment. You don't have to write it 100 times.
For real.
Chris, what's going on, Chris?
I'm going crazy right now. I can't believe what just happened.
What just happened?
My Dolphins pulled it out.
Oh, the Dolphins won? I ain't even watched the game.
Tua threw for 470 yards.
Who they played?
Man, you sleep. Hey, TTY, we coming for the Rams, TTY.
Who did they play today?
Ravens.
Yeah, we played the Ravens. We coming for the TTY, we coming for the Rams, man.
Maybe.
Yeah, my Rams is up on Atlanta 21-3 right now. You went into halftime. Keep coming.
Good.
Hey, at least we kept our
All right, so
the Canes.
So NFL scores right now. You got the Rams, my Rams. They're up on Atlanta, about to go into halftime. 21-3 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks, they're down 20-0 against the Niners. Dallas Cowboys is up 14-3 on the Bengals. Tie game for the Broncos and Texans. Raiders are up 17-0 on the Cardinals. Okay, games that went final. The Jets beat the Browns by 1 point, 31-30. The Washington Commanders, aka the Redskins, basically lost to the Lions 36-27. Tampa beats the Saints 20-10. What did Jameis Winston do? Oh, he ain't throw no pick that game? Okay, cool. The Giants beat the Panthers. The Patriots beat the Steelers. Jaguars beat the Colts 24-0. Oh, boy. Old Trevor Lawrence had a good game. Sunshine went out there. And, the Dolphins beat the Ravens 42-38.
Yeah, man, great. I love that story. I love it.
Thursday night football, the Kansas City Chiefs improved to 2-0, beating the Chargers 27-24. And of course, Monday Night Football, you'll have the Titans versus the Bills, and you'll have the Vikings versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
That Texas A&M QB, man, he was legit.
Oh yeah, let me what the name is? Zucci? No, I guess he looking for some attention too. You said Texas A&M was the worst team in the SEC.
Nah,
that's what he's tripping. He's tripping. Oh my God! I don't think he watched football, bro.
Nah, what he wanted to feel like Miami lost to a worse team.
Yeah, the LSU was worse.
Zozuchi is one of those victims of my trolling. I troll Florida State so bad that even when we lose to good teams, they say we lost to bad teams because they think it's gonna make me feel bad. Sorry, Zozuchi, it don't work that way. Y'all still beat a sorry LSU team.
Yeah.
Y'all still struggled against Louisville. And if you don't watch out, you might lose to Boston College this week with your running back at quarterback out for the game.
Oh, Travis out?
Yeah.
I got a question. How come A&M only ranked up 1?
Are they what?
How did A&M only get 1 rank? We were 13.
Because they lost the week before to App State.
Oh, that comes into effect in the next game too?
Yeah, they didn't beat Miami. Well, they struggled to beat us, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Miami basically beat themselves. If you look at the numbers We had them in time of possession. We had them in yards. We had them in first downs. We had them in every category. We just didn't execute in the
Capitalize.
red zone.
Yeah, TVD kind of was having an off night a little bit.
Yeah, he was overthrowing the balls a little bit, and he was underthrowing some balls too.
Yeah, so they looked at it as A&M won the game, but they didn't have the best performance.
And we
Florida
dropped.
State, not for to be ranked. Stop the cap thing. Get out of here. Do the get out of here right now. TQY something, because if Florida State didn't play nobody to get ranked.
If it was
Who
Ohio
said
State,
Florida State should be ranked?
Jakari's Middleton.
I'm not gonna lie. If it was Ohio State,
Florida State is sitting at number 27. If you look at the stats,
I'm sorry
if you
about
look
that.
at the votes, they're sitting at number 27. They're right outside of the top 25. So they need this week. They need some miracles to happen, and them like literally blowing out Boston College to get in there.
Yeah.
But if they improve to 4-0, they possibly could get into the top 25 this week.
Yeah. It depends on how that game go with Boston College for them.
Question to all the Florida State fans in here that's talking about rankings. When was the last time Florida State was ranked?
I think 2019 was the last time they was ranked.
When was the last time y'all touched
Florida State?
When was the last time y'all touched the top 25? Florida State. When was the last time they was in the top 25?
I don't think Florida State was ranked in 2019.
They haven't been nothing since Jameis Winston.
Yeah, like 2017 or something. 2016, like 2017 was the last time they were ranked.
Yeah, they got dominated by Oregon.
So them boys haven't even sniffed the top 25 in so long, but they talking. That's tough.
FSU is better than us? No.
What makes y'all better than us? That's what I want to know.
They lost to A&M.
I can't remember the last time they was ranked. Oh, 2018? Thank you, Hurricane Millie.
It's 2018, okay.
I'd have never guessed it. Oh, it sounds even better when FSU Rose says it, because then he got to swallow his pride and admit that they ain't been ranked since 2018. Dang, Florida State. So we're not even on the same planet as y'all right now.
Yeah. And Middleton saying Miami is 25. Okay, so but we ranked. We in the top 25. What does that prove? What is that supposed to prove?
25 not better than 27?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Go back to math class.
Oh my God. Cool. Hey, sometimes y'all Florida State fans in the chat do be funny, man. Y'all be funny.
It's like Pope said, man. When he come in here and see half them comments in the chat, he'll be like, "These guys does not represent all of us."
Yeah.
But since some of the Florida State fans are blind or even misled, we'll go back to the top 25.
We got to start using TVD like Miami did Tua today.
All right, so Florida State fans, pay attention. Open up your eyes. Listen, I'll even make it bigger for you. We'll make it a little bit bigger for you because obviously y'all didn't see it earlier. Okay. Miami is sitting at number 25. See, I'm even saying it slow so y'all can understand. Now, if you look down here, other teams receiving votes, you'll see that Michigan State is receiving 91 votes. That put them right behind Miami.
We beat
Miami had 123 votes. Florida State, 85 votes. So do the math. Miami is 25, Michigan State 26, Florida State 27. You guys are sitting right outside of the top 25. You're not there. You're not in there. Almost doesn't count. Everybody knows. Almost doesn't count. All right. Moesha, that Brandy chick, she made that song. Go listen to it. Coaches poll on the other side, Miami is also still sitting at number 25. They received 234 votes.
Mm-hmm.
Pitt, number 26, receiving 210 votes. And at number 27 on the other poll, Florida State, 107 votes. 25, Miami. 27, Florida State. That's not top 25. Y'all, you're sitting right outside. You're not there. You're not in there. You know, You remember when Chris Brown said, "How you gonna hate from outside of the club? You can't even get in." That is where you guys are at right now. So basically, sit where you're at and admire us top 25 teams until you get in. Now, when you get in, act like you've been there before. If you get in. Okay?
That's
Okay?
it, they get in.
Got it.
And I remember somebody said, line it up, App State versus Miami, Miami losing, but we just beat them last year.
It said, T2Y, look up at the quarterback ratings in Florida. You'll be surprised. After 3 weeks of football, I won't be surprised by any of these rankings.
Thank you.
I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Richardson was rated the worst quarterback in not only Florida, but some other states too.
He might not even keep his job on his team.
I wouldn't be surprised, how much Tyler Van Dyke has dropped on that list. I wouldn't be surprised if they got broke ankle, broke knee, broke leg on Jordan Travis on probably top of that list. I wouldn't be surprised. It's only 3 games. So what are we talking about? It says, let me see what he says here. Man, it's inevitable for Florida State to get an L or 2. Now, this is coming from a Florida State fan. He's saying it's inevitable for y'all to take an L or 2, maybe 3 this season. But damn, it feels good to see Jimbo be Miami again. I don't know why Jimbo would want to be Miami, but that's what he said. Jimbo wants to be Miami again. Let that sink in. I mean, I don't know. I guess he didn't buy a vowel. I guess he didn't say T at the end or something. They didn't give him the rest of the letters. So I guess Jimbo want to be Miami again.
Damn.
Man, when y'all trolling, make sure you put everything in the chat correctly.
Hey, I want to ask a question. They saying TVD is overrated. Okay, what about the other quarterbacks that they rank right in the college football, like Bryce Young, all them? If Bryce Young had one bad game, my fault, he did. Remember he lost in the national championship, but y'all still saying he Heisman contender, right? He had one bad game and then he Heisman contender, but TVD had one bad game. TVD overrated.
Man,
that don't make sense to me. I guess because he's Miami.
I think all the Heisman candidate stuff for all 3 quarterbacks in the state of Florida can be thrown out the window right now.
Yeah.
I think they can go ahead and throw it out the window. Tyler Van Dyke, Jordan Travis, AR Pistol. Throw them all out.
Roadmaker. Who's that? Tate Roadmaker?
He plays for Florida State.
Here come Montre with the lies. Tyler Van Dyke had 3 bad games. No. Tyler Van Dyke, the first game, he did great, pulled him. He didn't have to stay in to get stats. He didn't have to pat his stats the first game. So
Thank you.
Get it right. At least if you're going to come tell lies, at least make the lies sound, good enough to be true. All right, so
let me guess. I guess Jordan Travis Jordan Travis the best quarterback in Florida, right?
You said big time players show up when the lights are bright. Yeah, they did. They do. I know. What's that receiver name for JSU? He a big time player. He showed up. That's what you call showing up when the lights are bright.
Oh, not Pope. My bad.
But anyways, man, all y'all Florida State fans, go ahead and smell your natty. Like y'all been saying, y'all gonna win the ACC this year. Y'all gonna win the natty and all that good stuff. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Anyways, we pretty much went through everything coming up this week and everything like that. So I'm gonna wrap this show up. Basically, I'll catch you guys on Wednesday at 5:00. We'll do the Florida State, Miami, and the Florida Gators show.
All right. Thank you, man. Go Canes, man.
Hold up. Quick question. If we score and get that 2, do you think we win?
Yeah, yeah.
I believe
Honestly,
so.
do. Texas A&M couldn't really do much offensive wise, so yeah, I honestly think we do win that game. But ain't no shoulda, coulda, woulda. We lost.
Yep.
Yep.
It is what
Take it
is.
as an L. Let's go. All right, man. Go Canes. Y'all have a good night, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Catch y'all on Wednesday. Aggie T2Y out.